Did you know that eating cabbage with certain foods can be bad for your health? Cabbage is widely recognized as one of the healthiest foods, but there are some foods that pair well with cabbage and some that do not. Although cabbage is very beneficial, it is important to consume it correctly so that it benefits your body. Consuming cabbage with inappropriate foods can be detrimental to your health. In this video, we will tell you the 3 foods that are worst with cabbage and the 3 foods that pair perfectly with it to keep you healthy. This video will be extremely informative and helpful. So, if you want to become a master of your health, click like and let's get started. When we eat, we don't consume one type of ingredient at one meal. Different ingredients complement each other in flavor and health benefits. However, just because ingredients taste good together doesn't mean their nutritional value is the same. Consuming foods with a poor combination of nutrients can harm your body and even lead to serious health problems. Each natural ingredient has its own beneficial nutrients. Knowing these nutrients and eating them properly is the best way to take care of your health. Today's topic is cabbage, one of the best foods for health. Everyone knows that cabbage is good for your health. But did you know that there are foods that can harm your health if consumed along with cabbage? There are even people who should never eat kale. Let's learn about the 3 worst and 3 best combinations of foods with kale and discover an amazing recipe. The first thing you should never eat with kale is blood pressure medication and aspirin. Especially if you are taking anticoagulants such as warfarin and aspirin, you should avoid kale. Cabbage is rich in polyphenols and anthocyanins, which are great for lowering blood pressure and preventing cardiovascular diseases. Many patients with high blood pressure and high cholesterol regularly consume cabbage. But be warned, if you are prescribed aspirin and blood pressure or cholesterol-lowering drugs, the situation will be quite different. Warfarin and aspirin drugs act as anticoagulants, thinning the blood. If a blood clot forms in a blood vessel, these anticoagulants help dissolve it and maintain normal blood flow by preventing blockage. They help prevent diseases such as cerebral hemorrhage, stroke, and cerebral infarction. However, vitamin K found in cabbage works in the exact opposite way. Vitamin K activates platelets and promotes blood clotting when blood vessels are injured or damaged. While blood pressure medications and aspirin thin the blood, the vitamin K in kale thickens it. Therefore, if you are taking blood pressure or cholesterol-lowering medications and aspirin, you need to be very careful about eating kale. The vitamin K in cabbage can reduce the effectiveness of the medications prescribed to you. Check to see if any of your regular medications contain warfarin. But here's the bottom line. Does this mean you should completely avoid kale if you're taking these medications? No. There is an amazing recipe that even such people can enjoy. The first food that pairs perfectly with kale is apples. Consuming cabbage and apples together is safe and healthy. The potassium contained in apples helps to dilate the blood vessels. When you consume the sulforaphane found in cabbage, which prevents blood clots, along with the potassium from apples, it greatly improves blood circulation and lowers blood pressure. Thus, you get an amazing combination. From now on, always eat cabbage with apples. The recommended recipe is cabbage apple juice. Mix the cabbage and apples together. If the cabbage is steamed or boiled before mixing, it will increase its digestibility, so keep this tip in mind. It is especially beneficial to drink this juice in the morning on an empty stomach. You can also add carrots to the juice. Carrots promote blood formation and improve blood flow in the blood vessels. However, if you add raw carrots, the ascorbinase enzyme found in carrots can destroy the vitamin C found in cabbage and apples. Adding a small amount of vinegar or lemon juice can reduce the destruction of the vitamin, allowing you to get all the vitamins from the cabbage and apples. It also neutralizes the strong sulfurous smell of cabbage, which is a double benefit. The second worst combination with cabbage is for people with weakened thyroid function. Cabbage is high in nutrients and very good for stomach health, which is why many people eat it often. However, if you have hypothyroidism or iodine deficiency, which weakens the thyroid gland, eating cabbage can make symptoms worse. Cabbage contains glucosinolates, which are marvelous antioxidants that help keep you young. These compounds inhibit hormone production and have been particularly well proven as stomach and breast pain relievers. However, these compounds can interfere with thyroid hormone production or iodine absorption, so kale is not suitable for people with weakened thyroid glands. Cabbage is high in nitrogen and sulfur, and the strumogenic substances it contains can suppress the production of thyroid hormones in the body. Therefore, people with a weakened thyroid should avoid eating kale. But does that mean you should never eat kale if you have thyroid problems? No, there is a magical way to consume it. Instead of eating kale raw, cook it. The compounds that inhibit iodine synthesis are very sensitive to heat. Blanching cabbage in boiling water for 30 seconds, steaming it, or lightly frying it in oil can make it safe to eat. Note that the second food that pairs well with cabbage is grapefruit. Cabbage pairs well with acidic fruits, and eating it together with grapefruit can maximize its antioxidant effects. Cabbage is rich in anti-disease compounds, especially isothiocyanates, which have been shown to be much more effective than many traditional treatments. These compounds effectively prevent a variety of serious diseases, including those that affect the breast, prostate, bladder, intestines, and thyroid. In addition, kale activates disease-fighting white blood cells and stimulates the release of TNF, which helps destroy cancer cells. If you eat kale along with grapefruit, which is rich in vitamin C, the antioxidant effect is greatly enhanced. The carotenoids found in kale prevent aging of skin cells and promote their regeneration, making the skin smooth and firm. It also helps to eliminate breakdown products from the body, which makes the combination with grapefruit even more effective. In addition, kale is rich in dietary fiber and low in calories, making it a great weight loss food. Grapefruit contains niacinine, which has a bitter taste and helps to reduce visceral fat. So from now on, always eat kale with grapefruit. The third extremely dangerous product containing cabbage is cabbage juice or its extract. Many people are surprised by this as they drink a lot of cabbage juice for their health. Cabbage is often referred to as a natural stomach protector. It contains sulforaphane, which prevents the spread of Helicobacter pylori, the bacteria that causes stomach ulcers, making it especially beneficial for gastric health. Cabbage is also rich in vitamin U, which strengthens and repairs the gastric mucosa, as well as antioxidants such as riboflavin and carotenoids, which are very beneficial for intestinal and gastric health. However, keep in mind that consuming kale in juice form is a different story. When cabbage is extracted, the fiber is significantly destroyed and the sugars are concentrated, which is not good for diabetics. In addition, cabbage juice can upset the balance of potassium and sodium in the blood, which is bad for people with weakened kidneys. People with sensitive intestines should especially avoid cabbage juice because cabbage is easily fermented in the intestines, releasing gases that can irritate the intestines and cause discomfort and abdominal bloating. This bloating can lead to irritable bowel syndrome and even inflammation of the colon or serious health problems. Cabbage also has a cooling effect that can easily cause diarrhea or abdominal bloating, so it should be consumed with caution. The third recommended combination with cabbage is milk. Milk is rich in protein, vitamins, and calcium, which not only complement the nutrients of cabbage, but also neutralize stomach acid and stabilize the stomach. In particular, the vitamin U found in cabbage combines with milk protein to form a new protein that protects the gastric mucosa from damage caused by stomach acid. This greatly increases the benefits of cabbage for gastric health. This method is a great way for people with sensitive intestines to safely consume kale. If you are often plagued by heartburn or digestive problems, consuming cabbage with milk can be very beneficial. Mixing cabbage with milk and drinking this drink for breakfast on an empty stomach is also a great method. Here we have looked at the 3 worst and 3 best combinations of foods with cabbage. Now it's time to summarize the results. If you take high blood pressure medication or aspirin, always eat kale with apples. Even better, mix kale and apples with carrots, and don't forget to add vinegar or lemon juice. If you have a weak thyroid, never eat raw cabbage, always cook it before consuming. Finally, instead of concentrated cabbage juice, chew cabbage thoroughly with milk. What do you think about this? Do you agree with these statements? If you have any questions, ask them in the comments. More information on this topic can be found at the links in the description below this video and on our channel.
Subscribe and hit the bell for all notifications. Please like and share this video with your friends. Thanks to our sponsors for their support. I eagerly await your comments and encourage you to watch these useful videos.